Thank you, Twitch. Oops. And where's the other one? Here. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, hello everybody. I just had to send out my live announcements. But we are back once again, back on our bullshit. So welcome. I am Sylvie, as usual.
I'm Kayleigh.
Yay! Alright.
It's podcast.
It's podcast time! Yeah, baby! That's the
podcast
spirit.
that exists.
Yes. The only podcast is just like, podcast. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll get into this swing of things. Eventually, one of these days. So, today, as evidenced by our title, we are going to be talking about ARGs, which are alternate reality games, very popular on YouTube, TikTok, even on Twitter, and creepypastas, Reddit no sleep stories, all that kind of good stuff. I can tell Kayleigh is like on the edge of her seat over here, so I will let her start. Please do talk about, because you told me you had some very interesting creepypastas. So please feel free to talk.
I do. So since we're doing a deep dive, I'm assuming we're not going to do like the more popular ones like Ben Drowned and the Russian Sleep Experiment, because those are my favorites.
I mean, we could talk about them.
But there's one that I actually find it. I actually did a reading of on one of my old YouTube channels that is now privated. So you can't go find it, unfortunately. But
make it unlisted, and I'll link it in the Discord.
No.
Yes.
No. Yes. It's bad quality anyway, because like it's really really quiet and.
Aww.
Yeah. Anyway.
Little baby Kayleigh on the internet.
People know about that that channel, so maybe one day, but not today.
Okay.
So I guess I'm just gonna read it because it's kind of short.
All right.
So it's called "Please Don't Fear the Reaper." Mm-hmm. It's been 10 months since it happened. Death just stopped. People stopped passing. On the surface, that sounds fantastic, but the reality is far worse than anything I ever imagined. I work as a trauma surgeon at one of the busiest hospitals in the country, and believe me, my job shifted significantly after the event. Sure, it seems great when a 68-year-old diabetic with a heart condition comes in complaining of chest pain. Clinically, he's dead from a heart attack, but aside from some discomfort, he's sent home to his family to get more time together. That's the best-case scenario. 2 weeks ago, we had a burn victim come in after a high-speed collision that resulted in his semi bursting into flames. Today we have a torso and not much else locked in a supply closet because all I can do is scream and flail. No eyes, no tongue, no limbs to communicate with. We don't know what to do with him. After that call, I retreated into an isolated office, popped open my flask, and downed a significant amount of pills. I rested my elbows on the table, feeling the pounding of my pulse in my temples as I tried to cope. Or feeling the pounding of my pulse in my temples as I tried to cope. And that's the kind of thing my job has become. I'm more handyman than doctor. People come in with damaged parts and I try to make them functional. An 11-year-old boy comes in after being struck by a drunk driver. More than 60% of his bones are broken, shattered. There's no way to set them to get them to where they're functioning in. In the old world, he would have passed. Today, his parents take him home to lay in a bed for eternity. More pills, more booze, more pounding temples. As nursing homes fill up and overflow, many that work in that industry quit their jobs. It has become quite common to see elderly laying on the side of the road or in dumpsters, or actually buried alive as families are unable to cope with the concept of caring for an invalid body for eternity. More pills, more booze, my health declines. Yesterday, a normal 30-year-old woman came in complaining of difficulty breathing. Upon exam, we found that she had suffered a massive stroke the night before. Again, before she would have passed. Now she had to deal with all her automatic bodily functions shutting down and her them over consciously. Her pain was from forcing air into her lungs where before her body did it for her. More pills, more booze. I don't feel well. My temple's absolutely hammered. Today, a woman miscarried. Now we have to figure out what to do with the squirming fetus only a few months into development. In the break room, drunk and high as usual, I rub my temples, feeling stillness under my fingertips. My eyes snap open. Shit. That's it. That's the end.
Wow. That's
one of my favorites.
Deep.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I forget, like, that creepypastas can actually, like, be emotional, and...
Yeah.
Because, like...
That one...
No, go ahead.
I was just saying that one is, it's a very good exercise in what if for creative writing.
It is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it's funny because when you think of creepypastas, you think of, like, Slenderman and, like, Jeff the Killer and, like, Ben Drowned and, like, Sonic.exe. It's like...
Yeah.
Wow, you forget that that writing can be good sometimes.
Yeah.
And not just revolve around tropes.
Yeah. I used to actually read No Sleep while I was at work when I had, like, a boring office job. Just to get through the day.
That's a way to get through the day, all right.
Good writing in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I remember... Oh, me? Well, I was just going to say that I remember, like, one No Sleep story that I got, like, really into until, like, I realized it was, like, 100 parts long. Yeah, I
don't have the attention span for that.
No, but it was pretty good for a while. I think it was called, like, Previous Tenant Left a Survival Guide or something like that. I don't remember. But it was, like, this really interesting... And, of course, like, the first thing I think, I'm like, I want to make it into a Good Omens AU somehow. This is going to happen. It was, like, this, like, really interesting, like, story about a young couple who, like, moved into an apartment in, like, a building. Obviously. Where else would it be? Where, like, they found... So her boyfriend, Jamie, went to work. And she was, like, unpacking and stuff like that. And she found a note in like, one of the cabinets that had all these, like, list of, like, survival guides sort of thing, how to survive the flat. And it wasn't the normal stuff, like, hey, sometimes the hot water doesn't turn on. It was like, there's monsters that live in the elevator. And if you go there between a certain hour of night, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So she found out that, like, her boyfriend had gone to the elevator during that time period. I think it was, like, something ridiculous from, like, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. or something like that. Where, like, people would be in bed anyway, unless you're, like, coming home drunk or you have a late shift or whatever. But, like, she found out that, like, her boyfriend died in there. And it was, like, this whole, like, long, involved thing. And it was, like, pretty cool and well written. So I don't remember, like, all of the details. And I think I am not a succinct summarizer. So it's probably best if you go read it or listen to it yourself. I actually found a channel that was reading it. I think it's called, like, something like, I don't know, Girl Reads Creepypastas or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure if you search up that, you'll find on YouTube, you'll find it. But it was pretty good, and I recommend listening to it at least until, I think I had stopped around, like, part 17 or 18, and, like, I thought it was over. And then it started going into my recommendeds, and I was like, oh, I guess it's not over then. Okay. But yeah. Oh, my devil horns are slipping. That's so sad. I'm sad. But yeah. So that's the only no sleep story that I've ever read, because I don't know, it's just something about like the reputation of no sleep has always sort of, I'm just gonna take my devil horns off. I haven't pinned them in place, they're just slipping off. Um Goodbye, devil horns.
Aw.
That's okay. No, I'm gonna. Why did I do that and lose my train of thought? Because like the reputation of no sleep to me has always sounded like those chain emails. Like, if you don't repost this, if you don't send this to 30 people, I don't know, you might have missed this part, but like I remember like back in the AOL days it would be like, there's a girl who lost her life, and if you don't pass on this email, yeah, they turned into like Tumblr reblog posts. It's like, if you don't reblog this, your mom will die. It's like, oh god.
I never saw those on No Sleep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's what it was, but that was always like what I thought of when I thought of No Sleep. So I had stayed away from it for the longest time. Because I don't like to be cursed. I have less of an issue with the word as it's used casually nowadays, although I still try to stay away from quote unquote cursed images. Because I believe in the power of belief.
Make me unsettled. Like,
yeah.
I just don't like feeling that way.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I believe in the power of belief. And if enough people say that something is cursed, that means that it is. And eventually it's gonna come get us. So, I mean, I've gotten desensitized to it slightly because of the Furby fandom. A lot of people like to throw around that tag, just for useless shit. But if I ever see something outside of the fandom that has, like, the curse tag, I'm like, I have that tag blocked on Tumblr. I don't, I don't deal with it. I think it's bad juju. But that's not what we're talking about. That was for the Paranormal episode. So yeah, that's the only no sleep that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with most of the common creepypastas, like Ben Drowned, Sonic.exe, which really freaked me out as a kid. As an avid Sonic fan who definitely did have a few Sonic plushes in my time, that one freaked me the fuck out.
The Godzilla video game creepypasta freaked me the fuck out.
I don't remember that one. What's that one?
Godzilla versus Destroya, I believe. No, not that one. Hold on, let me find it.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yes, it's very long.
Do you remember the summary? The short version?
Yeah, so it's your classic, I got an old NES game at, like, a garage sale, and it was haunted. That kind of thing.
Of course,
but,
of course.
I believe, like, at some point, it's been a long time since I read it, but I'm looking at it now. So, there's new monsters and stuff, and it glitches out, and then there's this, like, entity that chases it around, or that chases you around, and they get weirder and scarier, and then there's a level that just says run, and you have to go through, like, this hellscape. And, yeah, the creature that chases you, I'm gonna go ahead and send you, chapter 2 here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's got chapters and everything.
So just scroll down.
Okay, hold on, let me open it. Google Chrome likes to be slow as molasses.
Oh yeah.
whenever we
I
did
use
this.
Firefox.
I know, everybody tells me to use Firefox. It's just like, I'm too lazy to switch over to my browsers. Okay. Where am I scrolling down to, hon?
Scroll down to where the images say run.
I'm assuming not yet. No.
Godzilla's in a fiery hellscape.
Oh, yep, I see it. Run!
Yeah. So that creature, it, like, haunted my dreams.
Oh, no! Oh, no.
Because there's another one, there's another set of images later in it, that, where, like, it's looking out at the audience and smiling, and that's the worst. I hate that.
Yeah, that's the breaking the fourth wall stuff. Oh, and of course I see on the edge, Smile Dog.
Yeah.
I never liked that one. Because that one, and I never liked that one. The same reason, it's the same reason that I don't like 096, SCP-096. I don't freaking like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anything that's like, if you look at this, you die. I'm like, I don't like it. I'm immediately like, let me quick open Immunity Cat in the next in the next tab. I'm like, I'm not about that. No. Yeah, that. Oof.
Just Godzilla, NES Godzilla.
That was your terrifying. That was your childhood scarring.
Yes.
I can't remember if like I had like a creepypasta that scarred me, because like creepypastas were not really a thing until like I was in. I mean, I guess they were a thing, but like I never heard about them until I was like in high school, going into college. So that was like really the first time that I'd really ever heard of them. And the horror of my middle school years was chain emails, which I definitely annoyed a few of my friends with on AOL, way back in the days of AOL chat room. But I never like I didn't really start learning about creepypastas until I was in college. Which basically allowed me to like have my own internet connection, and by that point YouTube didn't have anime on there's no anime on YouTube anymore, so I couldn't be watching that, so I turned to watch other stuff. And that was that. I think Smile Dog was like the first one that like really freaked me out because of like the fact that like you couldn't look at it, because it would like terrify you, like make you go crazy, and I was just like, no, not about that. Ooh.
I felt the same. What is it called?
Speaking of Immunity Cat, I'm just gonna open that real quick.
It's like, it's supposedly this Japanese poem where if you read it out loud, you die.
Oh, I've heard about that one. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I remember.
Hell.
Oh. Yes. I vaguely know like a little bit about one, because as soon as you said Japanese, the first thing I thought of was the comic. That like famous comic that's like I was walking alone in the thing, and then like it takes you over at the end. Oh, is it Korean? Okay. Because it's
Korean, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense then. That it's a Korean horror. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm not racist. So I just mixed up the Asian cultures. Oops. My bad. Listen, okay, a lot of it, like the Asian horror, is so similar in a lot of ways, because they seem to find the same things terrifying, and it seems to be a lot of vengeful female spirits, which is pretty interesting. Like oh my god, like The Wailing. Have you heard of that film? I think it's Korean.
No.
Oh, I watched a this is getting off topic now, but I watched a review of I've watched a couple of reviews of The Wailing, and man, that movie is freaky. It's like it's about like this small town, this more like rural town in Korea, and it centers around this policeman and his young family, and a lot of like mysterious murders have been happening where people just like go crazy and kill their families. And there so of course like the policemen are trying to get to the bottom of this, and there's a Japanese man who enters the village, who's like passing through, and he lives like on the outskirts of town, and he and so like of course they're like, oh well, it's the foreigner that all this started when like the foreigner started to come here, so they're just investigating him, and it all turns out to be like supernatural and stuff anyway. But I don't want to give too
Right.
much away, but it's a very interesting horror film, and if you're not going to watch it, I highly recommend going to find reviews on it, because it's such like an interesting story, a really good like illustration of like that sort of like um I don't know, visceral sort of horror where you can't really do anything about it, like a lot of Asian horror is, where it's just like sort of fatalistic.
I'm going to close my closet door real quick.
Yeah, you go do that.
Like,
I know the feeling. I'm like, I have like my light on. I'm like, I have Immunity Cat in my like other in my other browser. Like, I'm ready.
I'm not usually like a superstitious. Well, I am superstitious, but I'm not like paranoid usually about that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It was just distracting me. So
yeah.
it's close.
Something about like talking about this kind of stuff, because I feel like, especially like with a lot of video game creepypastas and stuff like that, it's just like the idea of something that is so like that is normally like under your control just being ripped out from underneath you is something that's very terrifying.
Yeah. After. So okay. I scared myself again.
Oh no.
While I was scrolling through NES Godzilla. Because I found the image that actually like
no.
like scared the shit out of me.
I'm actually kind of like a little bit weirded out myself, because I have my Trico Smudge over here, and she's just like she's like staring into my soul. I'm just like, yeah. I know you're a doll and I love you, but it's very strange.
Yeah, that's why I don't like keeping dolls around.
I don't mind them, because I've sort of imbued like my own positive energy into them, so they don't bother me. But it's just like when you're talking about stuff like this, you just start to feel like everything is watching you.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
I can send you the link if you want to look at it.
Sure, like, send me the image. Let's be scarred together. Why not?
It's all the way at the bottom of the page.
Okay. So while I'm opening this up, have you ever seen or like know anything about any of the more popular ARGs on YouTube?
Well, I know about the really recent one that was on Tumblr. The Hey P for Brains, Can You Teleport?
What? Oh no, I just found it. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. I see why that's scarred. Oh. Ooh. Yeah. Just imagining seeing that on the NES. Anyway, yeah. What? Sorry, what? What? Which one?
The Hey P for Brains, Can You Teleport?
No, I've never seen that one.
You didn't see that one?
No.
That one was super fascinating when it was brand new.
It sounds like it would be like an Among Us like ARG.
Yeah, so it's on Know Your Meme now. It was 2 years ago already? Jesus.
Wow.
It's been a while. But yeah, Sexy Girl Max 2019 would send people like they looked like a porn bot and would send people messages saying, "Hey, P Brain, you teleport?"
Oh.
I P for brains, can you teleport? And so people would go to the blog, and there were like, if you scroll down past the like porn yeah, past the porn, there were like posts that were like, click below to instantly transport, and please be patient. Please, sexies, be patient. I need help. Just help me out a little. I'm starving.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's not good. I don't like that.
Yeah, it was really weird, like, when it was happening, and I was on Tumblr while it was happening.
Oh no, I don't like that. It was a Tumblr ARG. I'm dead. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, I guess I never had a lot of interaction with porn bots, so I guess that's why I never saw it.
Yeah.
Cause like not even my kink blog was like super active with porn bots.
Well, I had an actual porn blog at one point, so
that's right. I remember you told me
they
that.
followed me. My main blog.
P for brains?
Yes.
Oh.
I never got the Sexy Girl Max messages, but
that's good.
I saw people who did.
Well, okay, first of all, I have to say that the thing that's freaking me out now is that I have my Bendy plush behind me, staring into my soul. It's very unsettling that, like, I really hate where my desk is, but I don't really know where else to put it that would make me feel safer, because then it would be my back would be towards my door, and I don't know what's worse.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this is slightly safer. It's just really weird to be in this like little corner of my room. But anyway, it's fine. Ink Bendy is a friend, and I am not afraid of him. The only horror character that doesn't freak me out. That's a side note. My mom and my brother both hate Ink Bendy. Like, I was making my brother play Bendy the Ink Machine, and like, I was like, oh look, it's Ink Bendy. My brother's like, I hate it. And I'm like, I love it. and like my mom's like, you know, I still have nightmares about that thing. And I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck? That startled me. I think it's my...
If there's something like that for me, maybe Cthulhu. Like, yeah. I have a plush Cthulhu. Hang on a second.
Yes. Show me the plush. There he is!
It's a plush Cthulhu.
Aww, what a cutie.
Got, like, multiple tentacles.
Aww. I love him.
Yeah, so the story behind this, actually, is when I was probably 3 or 4 years old, my uncle got me one of these for, Christmas, or my birthday. And it was at a time when I was, like, really afraid of monsters, because my house was haunted, so there were monsters.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And so he got me this plush Cthulhu and said, this is a monster, but it's a monster that eats other monsters. So Cthulhu is like a ward now.
Aww,
for me.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I have my plush Cthulhu that watches over me while I sleep.
Aww. It's always good to have stuff like that. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Yeah, I don't know. I never had a problem with Ink Bendy. I think the reason why I was never really afraid of it in the same way that I was afraid of a lot of horror things like Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff is because like I never felt like, and I mean like I don't think anybody really knows what's going on as far as the story of Bendy the Ink Machine. Like nobody has any clue really what's going on because it's pretty confusing all in all. But I don't know. I always subscribe to the idea that, like, Ink Bendy is not trying to harm you actively. It just, he happens to be an antagonist that is after you. but he's not actively like trying to like hurt your main character at all. And that has just always, that idea has just like always comforted me. So I'm not really afraid of him. Um, Maybe I would feel differently if I ever actually played any of the levels where you actually had to run away from him, but I was never like bothered by like seeing jump scares of him or anything like that. Like it never bothered me in the same way that the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics did, or like any other horror jump scare did.
I only played the first chapter of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and
like you never really see him at all.
Yeah, and I didn't get like really into it enough to download the rest of the chapters. Just I think it was the accents that took me out because it was just they're not good accents. But yeah,
you mean Wally Franks is "I'm out of here."
Yeah, it's not good.
I like Wally Franks though. I mean, if you're interested, I'll point you towards my bud Prod Charles, who has like a ton of theory videos and full playthroughs of all of the chapters of Bendy. If you want to watch it and not bother playing it, because I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's still got all that stuff up on his YouTube, I believe. So cool. Go check it out. Because I think like I said, I don't know what's going on with the story. Like, I think that the ending, that as it is dumb. And I would rather something else happened. But I feel like a lot of people felt that way. But I don't know, just something about how thematic it is and how different it is. Like the art style where everything looks like it's drawn, and like just like how really creepy the atmosphere of the studio is. Because if you only played like the first version of chapter 1, it wasn't like as creepy as like later versions where like they make more creaks happen like up in the floors above you and all of that kind of other stuff. So it's much more thematic and like updated versions. Anyway, I'm getting off topic talking about a special interest of mine. Let's refocus, Sylvie. No one wants to hear that, including the audience.
That was my fault for I don't know.
No, it's not your fault. I ramble. Why would it be your fault? I don't know. You just enabled me.
I engaged in the conversation.
It's okay. I mean, like, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I only care because I'm self-conscious about it. Anyway. We were going to talk about ARGs. Yeah. I forget something you said that reminded me of... yes. You talking about, like, the Tumblr ARG porn bot.
Yes.
Reminded me of another ARG, which is still ongoing. I don't think they've updated in a while, but it's still ongoing. Called I Am Sophie. Which masquerades as a typical, like, LA vlogger YouTube channel. For the first couple of episodes, like, it's just like it has this like vapid rich girl who's like from England, who's like, you know, talking about like her private jet and her like extensive makeup collection and all that kind of other stuff. And then it gets real fucked up. And just goes downhill. Like there's this whole side story with this character Laura, who like at the end of like the first, I don't know if you want to call it like a season or anything like that, like basically takes Sophie's place and like kills the character and like becomes Sophie, and it's like this like really strange sort of thing. And where it's at now, I think, is that they're explaining how Laura became like Sophie. Because there's this like video game that's kind of like, I don't know what this style is called, 8-bit, something that kind of looks like Undertale, I guess. that
16-bit.
Yeah, 16-bit.
I always have a hard time differentiating those two.
I never had like a video game from that era, so I never really could tell either way. But anyway, it looks like Undertale. That's 16-bit. Okay. And it's kind of just like this like very simplistic video game that like goes through the entire like Sophie's story like in the vlogs and stuff like that, and like asks Laura to participate in like what happens, and then like it starts talking to her in Sophie's voice, and like all this kind of like weird shit happens. So that's kind of like where it is right now. But I'm very excited for more on it because it's just like so freaky and weird.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really super into ARGs, so like.
I don't know of a whole lot of them. I just know my favorite was Sexy Girl Max.
That's a good one. I've never seen anyone cover that. I should see if anybody who I watch on YouTube has covered it, because that sounds actually really interesting. I would love to see somebody like do a deep dive about that.
Yeah. I think I have, and I don't remember who it was, but I was like actively looking for a deep dive of it because I tried doing it myself and I got lost.
As happens all the time.
Yeah.
ARGs are like that on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I didn't know if you were like looking for it, or like I don't know if I want to like fill the silence or.
No, fill the silence, please.
Okay, well, I don't know, talking about video games, other special interest things, I will go off just for a moment, because I'm staring at my BRB music for Halloween, and it's from Made of Scare, which is a pretty good indie game. I've heard it doesn't control well, but I had fun watching it. I had fun watching other people play it, and I remember Prod Charles, who did Bending the Computer a long time ago, which is funnily enough not how we even met, but he did like a full playthrough of Made of Scare, and like I got so excited about it because of course there's a lot of like references to Greek myth, and like it's about like a siren and like all that kind of other stuff. So I just started like deep diving, like, okay, it's gonna be a siren, it's like the monster is a siren, yada yada, and just like doing all this stuff. And then of course we get to the end of the story and it's like, oh, siren right there. Okay. That was, and I was like, I predicted it. Yes, I did it. It was me. I did it. I knew all about it. My special interest knowledge helped. So I don't know. That was fun.
I don't think I've ever gotten to the end of an ARG before.
Yeah, I Made of Scare as a game, not an ARG, but yeah. But yeah, no, I think there's one that's going on right now, I think. It's called One Day Die. And I don't want to talk about it too much because that's going to be a separate stream. I'm going to try to actually participate in it because I think it's still active. So we're gonna we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I've never participated in an ARG. I don't even like watch like original ARG films because usually they have a lot of gore in them. And I am not really about gore. I can't really handle it that well. It just kind of grosses me out, makes me feel weird on the inside. But in my squishy caramel center. But I'm always interested in like the concepts of them and how kind of like creepypastas, how deep they can be. Because there's one which I think is also still ongoing. It's called Hi, I'm Mary Mary. And the whole premise is like it's this girl who like suddenly wakes up in like this alternate reality where she's stuck in her parents' house. Um, and during the day everything is okay, and that but then at night there are monsters that come after her and start chasing her. And like there are a lot of people who are theorizing that it's a sort of an allegory, is that the word I'm looking for addiction. Because like there's a lot of references to like people are doing deep dives into it and like noticing that she's like tracing her veins, which is kind of like tracking for heroin marks or things like that. I don't know. Um, and stuff like that. And like she keeps her wrists, her like sleeves low and covered. Um, and like and the fact that she's like, you know, that part of the part of it is like that she gets to go to this like magical forest to like escape reality. Um, and like one of her monsters is supposed to you know, represent depression, another one's supposed to be anxiety, another one's supposed to be like poor self-image. um so that's kind of, I don't know, just like that one in and of itself is like very interesting to me. And I'm kind of excited to see how it goes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I feel very bad because like I'm just like I don't want this to turn into like me talking about ARGs for like an hour.
Well, it's okay, because, like, I feel like what you aren't educated in or experienced in no sleeps, I am, and then it's the other way around for ARGs.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
But yeah, anything you obviously like, I don't want to be the only one talking either. So anything that you think of or want to talk about.
um,
Well, let's go back then to the ones that to the creepypastas that everybody knows, because you said
yes,
that you like Russian Sleep Experiment and Ben Drowned.
do, yes.
So,
Uh,
how did you get into those?
um, so I forget exactly when I stumbled upon the Creepypasta wiki,
Hmm.
but it was like, it was probably high school.
Hmm.
And I suddenly, okay, so here's a fun fact about me.
Okay.
I used to be so afraid of blood.
Hmm.
Like, the sight of fake blood would make me sick.
Ooh.
When I was little. And I've always really liked being scared.
Hmm.
But, like, on a surface level, you know?
Hmm.
But I could never watch horror movies because it was always blood.
Hmm.
And then my dad made a movie when I was 8 or 9, um, in which he made his own fake blood, and I watched him make the fake blood, and then I watched the scene as it happened, and I was like, oh, so that's what that is. And then he showed me, I think, the behind the scenes video for Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And so all of a sudden, I started getting really, really into horror. And that was probably, it was gradual, really. It wasn't all of a sudden. I was probably 12 when I started watching, like, horror movies. I was 13 when I saw The Shining, which is my second favorite movie of all time. And so I was probably 14 when I started getting into creepypastas, and I don't remember how. I think it was Slender Man that did it. Because I was way into the Marble Hornets YouTube channel.
That's right. Yeah, they were
at the time.
There's a lot of credit given to them for being the first people to like make an ARG of sorts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like determined to watch all of them from start to finish, which turned out to not be possible because there were too many. But I think Slenderman was the first creepypasta wiki that I read. And then it just kind of went on from there for the like popular and the recommended, and I think I read all of the video game ones just because I thought those were the most interesting, which includes Ben Drowned, and I think that's probably why that one's one of my favorites.
Ben Drowned is a good one. I think people forget that, like, because it's become so memeable.
Yeah, it's OG.
Mm-hmm.
And
I keep hearing
like I never played. I wasn't really a big Zelda fan when I was a kid.
Mm.
So I never played Majora's Mask or whatever. So seeing the Elegy of Emptiness, like, for the first time in that context is, like, the creepiest shit. And so now whenever I watch Majora's Mask playthroughs, I can't look at the Elegy of Emptiness because it's just freaks me out, man.
I'd actually had a thought recently because I was watching I'll have to send you this video because if you're interested in Ben Drowned, I think you should see it. Because one of the channels that I watch recently like made a sort of like movie out of the creepypasta with some like modern reimagining. So I think you'll really like it. So okay. I'll have to send it to you. But among the other myriad of things I have to send you in relation to the podcast. But yeah, what was I going to talk about? Ben Drowned. Oh, yes. I wanted so badly for like the Game Grumps Majora's Mask playthrough to just turn into like, because I think that there is like a port, like somebody like made a
playable version.
Yeah, somebody made like a playable one. So I just like want that so badly. Bring back Ghoul Grumps in the best way and just like turn the Majora's Mask playthrough into like the Ben Drowned creepypasta.
That'd be awesome.
It would be, yeah. I'm sure it would be far more interesting for Aaron. He seems to be having a lot
Aaron
of trouble
would have
with
a great time.
Yeah. Dan, probably not so much. Anyway, alright, I gotta stop bringing up special interest stuff. I like that. That's the thing. It's like this whole entire. I'm gonna be so bad during the SCP episode too. I can tell because I'm just gonna like babble on about like so many different SCPs. But hey, I mean, is the podcast for words? I guess so.
Yeah.
It's my Twitch channel. I can do what I want. It's my podcast. Exactly. It's my podcast. Kayleigh just has to like tell me to shut up at some point. It's on me.
And you know I won't, so that's why I'm here.
Oh my god. Our entire... But, Liz, that makes it sound like our entire friendship has just been me special interest dumping on you, and I don't think it has.
No.
I mean, I know it's a significant part of our friendship.
It is. It's a very large part of our friendship, I feel like.
Oh my god. Oh, I hate myself now.
No, it's okay. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't stick around.
That's true. If you find it endearing, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm trying to think of... Because I remember once upon a time being actually scared of Slenderman. Mm-hmm. Because I have been a chicken my entire life.
Yeah.
I think because, like, my empathy is like so I don't know. I don't really know what to explain, but like I get very sensitive as far as like seeing or hearing emotions that it affects me in that way.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching a horror movie and someone's in distress, it doesn't matter how ridiculous the the horror is or how fake the blood looks. I am sucked in.
Yeah.
You know, like I can know how special effects work. I can figure it out myself and puzzle it out and figure out how they might have done it. It doesn't stop it from being terrifying to me as I'm watching it. Um, so that is why I think the only horror movie I've ever sat through from start to finish, besides the Lost Boys, but I think that's more of a thriller than a horror anyway.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, is Trick or Treat. That's the one that counts as like a horror movie. That is the one that I have sat through from start to finish without being viscerally terrified afterwards. And that's like a I guess it's sort of like because it's sort of like a parody sort of one. Um, it's Sam, which I have a pin of Sam, but you're not going to be able to see it.
No.
But he's like the little like sack head dude. They have like tons of like decorations of him in Spirit Halloween. I'm sure if you've hold on, I'm gonna find a picture because I'm sure you're gonna be like, oh, duh, him because he's like everywhere.
I've never seen that movie.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen a design or whatever because he's like literally. I could walk into my Spirit Halloween and find you like 3 different Sam things, Sam related images, but
Pull it real quick.
yeah, yeah. All right, here. I was trying to find a. Oh, there's a little plush. I want it. Because he doesn't scare me either. All right, here.
That doesn't scare you?
No, he doesn't scare me at all.
It's a little spooky.
He's just a little
lie.
fun dude. He's a little fun dude.
It reminds me of the what's his name, Sackboy. I don't know.
What?
I feel like Sackboy sounds too ridiculous to be right, but it also kind of sounds right.
I don't know.
The main character in The Little Big Planet.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Reminds me of that.
Yeah, those are unintentionally creepy, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like really weird looking. I don't know. Sam doesn't bother me. I think also because I think part of it is like the film itself is so ridiculous that because it's like I don't know. Either like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's one of those films where you're like rooting for the antagonist. Because your quote unquote protagonists are terrible. And there's a bunch of lesbian werewolves, so I'm about it. But yeah, I mean, like it's a very good film, and it, like I said, it is one of those films where you're rooting for the antagonist. But I think one of the other reasons why it doesn't scare me is because like it seems easy to get out of, if that makes any sense. Because if I think about the horror films that have stuck with me, the ones that I've watched, or that I've been forced to watch from start to finish, because I've been forced to watch Poltergeist and
I love Poltergeist. It's a great one.
Good it is, terrifying it also is. And Nightmare on Elm Street. Those were the ones that I've been forced to watch from start to finish, and both of them have scarred me in different ways. Poltergeist, I never got over the tree scene where the tree just like grabs the kid and like starts eating him. I'm just like, no. And it doesn't help that like, I mean, like you live in a forest, so I don't know why. I mean, like you're like too brave for that, but like
no, I'm surrounded by trees at all times.
Like I have a lot of. It's like I have a lot of big trees around, so that was scary. And Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, just kept me sleepless. Like I would just like keep seeing like Freddy Krueger's hand just like coming through my wall overhead over the top of my bed. Like, ugh. It was like the worst. Um, and I remember like what position my bed was into. It was actually against this wall at one point, and I just like remember like being so afraid to like be up against the wall. uh,
It is about like those kinds of movies like Nightmare on Elm Street and Poltergeist, where the monster is so obviously like played up and a monster rather than something that's realistic. That doesn't really scare me at all.
yeah.
It's like movies about serial killers and some about ghosts that actually get me.
And that's the stuff that really doesn't bother me that much. Like I went through a period of my life where I was I was watching a lot of true crime, so I was like very afraid of everything because my anxiety was so high. But now that I've gotten past that, like it's like I'm not a serial killer fangirl. I would not go that far and say that I am, because I'm not even that I'm not even that like super intensely interested in true crime as I once was. Um, but I don't know. I find I find the stories very intriguing because a lot of the stories, like the one that I'm thinking of recently is Zodiac, the one that with Robert Downey Jr. and whatever his face is that came out recently, about the Zodiac killer, and it was more about the people who worked at the paper at the time. Um, and like I really love Ripper Street, which is fictional sort of, but it takes place like the after the Jack the Ripper murders, where like nobody knew where who he was, and you know like I mean like it has like I said it's fictional, but it has like the real inspectors and stuff like that, and like there are stories about like how like every murder, like every serial killing, like becomes like something of the Ripper. Like everybody's afraid in Whitechapel that the Ripper is back every single time somebody gets killed. And so like, you know, it's about the detectives who are dealing with the fact that everybody thinks it's the Ripper murder and they have to try to get past that to get to the real culprit. So right. That has always I guess because like a lot of those stories, and I guess this is also like linked to like my interest in murder mysteries and stuff like that. A lot of those stories tend to focus more on the people who are hunting the killer as opposed to as opposed to like it being about the antagonist killing people, if that makes any sense. The narrative is sort of switched. So so a lot of the times like you're not in the shoes of the victim as you are in a lot of horror movies. You're in the shoes of somebody who's trying to catch the killer. Right. Whereas like paranormal
like
stuff,
Halloween though, where yes, Michael Myers is supernatural, in essence. He's still like a dude who's killing people, and that can happen in real life.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that creeps me out a little bit more than like creature features, werewolves, vampires. Like that doesn't bother me because I know that those aren't real.
Yeah. Or are they?
So.
Zombies
too.
Yeah.
Or are they?
Zombies I don't like. I don't like those. I can deal with werewolves and vampires because I got super into I went through a time in my life where I was super interested in Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Still definitely one of my favorite films ever. The classic black and white Dracula, just like so creepy, so weird. It's just like a very like strange, and the book is very strange too because of the way that it's written, in as like a series of letters. So like Um, I was
Yeah.
super into Lon Chaney's Wolfman. Love that one. That was the original Wolfman that's black and white. Really super interested in that. Although I think nowadays it would probably have racist connotations due to the whole like I'm gonna say the slur. I know it's a slur, but that's what they're called in the film. They're called gypsies. I know that's an insensitive term, but that's what they're called in the film. Um, and I don't know, just like those kinds of things. I guess like because like the old horror movies like don't bother me because they're not as gory and like you have I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't know.
Yeah, horror really does not bother me at all.
I'm starting to get more desensitized to it, I think, as I go on. Um, but I think, I don't know, I don't remember if I was telling you this or I was just talking about it on stream, but I remember, like, my uncle has always been super into horror films. And my mom would always get so mad at him because, like, he was very good at, like, memorizing different quotes, different movie quotes. So he would just, like, talk about, what was it, The Changeling? Um, and Audition. Um, and there would be there would be like two lines that like I can remember this going back to like me being a little kid. My uncle would be like, so like remember in the how in the Changeling like it's like were you the child killed by the coal cart? No, which is like a line in the film, and then like of course, well, the one that freaked me out was the audition one because like he was like, oh yeah, like she's like poking the needles in the bag and going like that's just so freaky. And it's Asian horror.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think like kind of that started like my sort of I guess that sort of started my interest in horror. Where I started becoming more enamored with the darkness. Because I've always been interested in um how to like how people respond to things and like how to make people feel emotion, which sounds really strange, but like I don't know, it's just like I didn't really become super enamored with the genre until I don't know. I don't know really what did it. I think maybe I was just like watching too many let's players playing horror video games and I started getting interested in like the storytelling of horror.
Yeah.
And like I remember what really started me on a kick um for like storytelling horror, especially Ari Aster's work, was I watched a video about Hereditary and how like the how like a lot of people thought that Hereditary was like a bad horror movie. Um
Bad at all.
I
Are you
know.
kidding?
I know. Like I think it's a great film even though I've never really seen it all the way through, but I just from hearing people talk about it, it sounds like a very interesting film. Um but the person
Spooky.
yeah, yeah, it seems very eerie. Um but the person was talking about the reviewer was talking about how a lot of people didn't think it was a good horror film because like it was slow paced as opposed to like a more fast paced creature feature. Um and like a lot of people didn't like it because like the ending was like supposedly sort of like came out of left field. Um but of course it's not. There if you go back and look at it, there's a lot of sort of small subtleties that sort of show you that like this is the direction where the film is going. Um
Yeah.
so like a lot of people who are you know, and the person was talking about how like a lot of horror kind of relies upon like the jump scare sting. You know, this
Right.
like the like fast paced jump, the like the old tropes of like this one's gonna die last or like the having sex in the horror house, those kinds of things. Um
Yeah, I don't super like movies. Well, I don't want to say I don't like them. That's a blanket statement. But I tend to prefer movies where you're kind of like burying yourself into the couch and biting your nails because the suspense is so, like, slow burn, rather than sitting on the edge of your seat kind of suspense.
Yeah.
It's a different kind.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is why I like Japanese horror a lot.
Oh, Japanese horror is... yeah. Japanese horror is definitely a lot. Man.
Remember when I watched The Ring the first time? The original, Ringu. I remember getting to the ending and being like, that's it? Like, that's the end?
My brother's making...
Because the ending was so underwhelming compared to the rest of the movie.
Oh, yeah, because, like... what is it? How does it end? I don't remember.
It ends... they go to the well and they find, like, a dead body in there.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because, like, the original, like, I don't remember what happens in the American version. I don't know if it's the same or not, but, like...
I think I watched the American version.
Yeah. Because, like, because I remember, like, somebody was talking about how the original version is, like, she was just a vengeful ghost who wanted somebody to find her body. Like, that.
Yeah.
So. Hey, it makes sense.
Yeah. It was underwhelming. We got way off topic there.
We did. That's okay, though.
Do you want to take a break for a second?
Sure.
I need to get some food. I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, go get your food, my dude.
Okay.
Alright.
And when we come back, we can get back on topic.
Yeah! Finally.
Yeah.
Alright. Going on break now.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Hello, how we doing? We are
We're
back
back.
from break. Yeah.
I had some gluten-free pretzels, and we're all
Yummy.
set to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
And let me turn up my volume because I had to turn it down for the break music.
Oh yeah, it's very loud. It's very loud. But good.
All right.
Yeah, that was from Made of Scare. Anyway, we said we get back on topic with the creepypastas. I was in the middle.
Yes.
We were talking about Slenderman, and then we got off topic.
I don't remember what we were saying about Slenderman.
I was saying how I was afraid of Slenderman for a while, and you were like, "Oh yeah." But then I started rambling on.
I was too. I actually was afraid to take the garbage out because I would be afraid of seeing Slenderman in the trees. Yeah.
That's it.
That's all I was gonna say about that.
I actually remember, man, being on Tumblr was a crazy time. Because I remember, there were a lot of Sherlock AUs, and one of them was a Slenderlock AU. So that was a tag. Yeah, I don't know. That was a tag that I followed for a while. I guess because one person wrote a kind of decent fic on LiveJournal, and then everybody was like, "This is a cool idea. Let's do it." So you're just like, ugh. Kayleigh,
it's just the way it's phrased makes it sound like they're shipping Slenderman and Sherlock.
No, it wasn't like that. It was him as a Slenderman. Yeah. Okay, but listen. No, it's okay. I'm sure you had the same. I'm sure your face looked very much the same when I told you that I made Crowley and It for my AU.
I don't think you told me that.
Did I not? I didn't tell you about.
No.
I didn't tell you about my big. Well, I was getting. I was getting to that. Did I not tell you? Wow!
No.
Wow!
My face is him. You're correct.
Yeah. There you go. But yes. So I like many people, I'm sure, I found out about Slender through Slender the 8 Pages. One of my favorite videos ever was 11 Drunk Guys Play Slender. That's a great classic video. Take a shot left. Haven't seen that video. Highly recommend it. Funny. But so I have a distinct memory of having a fever because I think my sophomore year. Was it my sophomore year? Yeah, I think it was. My sophomore year of college, second semester, or spring semester, I got the flu at school. And my dumb brain was like, no, it's okay. I definitely like should still stay at school because at that point I was in the theater and I had like a job doing tech for the shows. As it turned out, I probably should have just gone home because I remember one night like I missed an audio cue because I like fell asleep on in the tech room. Anyway,
Oh god.
I had a very high fever, and probably should not have been anywhere near anybody else. Never mind doing tech in a theater, but I digress. I put way too much love into all of that. Um, but anyway, that's a story for a different day. My terrible times in the King's College Theater. Uh, so I had a very bad fever, and like I remember because of that, I would sleep at very odd times. So like I would be up kind of late, and then I would go to bed, and then I would wake up kind of early when it was still dark out. And one of these mornings, I had woke up screaming because of some nightmare. Thank God I didn't have a roommate at that time because that would have been weird. Um, but I just like remember like my window looked out into a bunch of other student housing at the time. So it was just like a street, and I remember like looking outside and thinking like, wait a minute, Slender Man. I don't know why my like fever brain was like, wait a minute, Slender Man, be afraid of that now. So I was like, oh, and I like sat up away from my window and just like went on my laptop until I was time to go to my 8 a.m. class. And I did that with a fever. Yeah. So nothing is more Capricorn than thinking that you have to stay and do your job when you have a fever at school.
Yeah.
So I'll just say that.
I got to a point, just totally tangential, but I got to a point when I was in school that I hated it so much that I would check my temperature every single day and like hope that I had a fever so that I would.
Honestly, I did that too in middle school a lot. I when I actually we're so super getting off topic, but I actually schemed I actually had a scheme um when I was in first grade. One Friday, I'd gone home sick. I don't remember what happened, if I like threw up or something. I don't know. I was a little kid. But I remember like I went home sick. So I was like, okay, now I want to go home every Friday. So, cuz I don't know, like I'm autistic, man. My brain like runs off of your routines, and like that was my routine. I had to go home every Friday at a certain time. So for I don't know how long it took like my mom and or the school to figure out that this was happening. But for a while, I think it went on for at least like 2 weeks in a row. For a while, I would say I feel sick. I have to go to the nurse every Friday.
Yeah.
And then like without even like checking like my temperature or whatever, the nurse would just like send me home. Because I would be like, I don't know, I threw up, I was sick, or something like that. Like I lied. My mom would come pick me up, and that was that. I said I was sick, and like I said, I don't know how anybody figured out what was going on, but I remember distinctly one time I was sitting in class, and like we had spelling tests on Fridays, and of course I hadn't been there that Friday, so I hadn't taken it. But my class was like really rowdy and stuff like that. My teacher like was like, well, like look at Sylvie. They're being really quiet, waiting for their test. And I was like sitting there just like all hot, like, please don't realize that I never took a test. Please don't realize that I never took a test. I don't know. obviously, like, she didn't hand me back a paper, but, like, I guess she didn't say anything about it, but I was just like, A+ level stealth.
Yeah.
I had a cardboard box over my head the whole entire level that time.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun story from school. But yeah, I hated school a lot. But yeah, no, when I was in college, I was like, you know what? I just have to, cause I was like dedicated to the theater program. Like I wanted to prove that I was like good or whatever, like a good student, a good theater tech. But like it wouldn't have mattered anyway because first of all, I missed a cue because I was sick. Second of all, my theater professors did not give a shit that I was sick. They just wanted, you know, whatever they wanted. And also, I was not even like a theater favorite, and those teachers played favorites like hell. You want to know just how badly they played favorites. The seniors who used to be like the stars of every show graduated, and so you'd think what would happen next year is that they would find new stars in the theater department, right?
Yes.
But nope, not my theater teachers. They decided to bring back the seniors who had already graduated, the kids who had already graduated, and ask them to be in the plays.
Oh my god.
Yep. So that is some apex level of favoritism there. And that's the real horror story. Anyway, yeah, Slenderman. Yeah, that was the first one that I think I really was aware of. And then I learned about Ben Drowned, and then I learned about Sonic.exe.
Yeah, for me, it was Slenderman and then The Rake.
Oh, no. I don't like that one either. Oh,
yeah,
no.
I'm super afraid of The Rake.
Yeah, do not like that. Ugh. No. I still remember hearing about that one tangentially, and it's just like, ugh. Even like hearing the name just like sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah.
Ooh, I am not sorry.
I still kind of creeped out about The Rake when I'm like on my porch or something outside at night, and there's like bushes out in the forest, and like if an animal moves back there, I'm like, it's The Rake.
I don't like it. I don't like it either. Yeah, it freaks me out. Ugh, I'm trying to think of other things that will not like scar me for life. Oh, but what I was going to say before we decided we were going to get back on topic, but I feel like I have to mention it. I remember now how I started getting desensitized to horror. One of the things that really got me desensitized was because I was writing a fanfic, as you do. But apparently I didn't tell Kayleigh about this one. I thought you knew about it. But yeah, so I got this idea after seeing a comic about like Pennywise actually like ending up befriending Georgie instead of killing him. And then I was like, wait a minute, I know who that's believable for, and I'm in that fandom. So then I was like, let's make Crowley and It. We'll do that. That's fine. And then like I started that whole AU, and because of that, I had to start watching a bunch of It clips. So then I started getting desensitized to that. And now Pennywise doesn't scare me, so I'm slightly more desensitized.
Yeah, good for you. Pennywise is a freaky thing.
Hi everybody who just entered the chat. I love you all. Anyway. Yeah, Pennywise is super freaky. What else can we talk about? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of stuff.
Yeah, because like I was like, well, what other ARGs are out there? Because, like, I'm like, I don't want to, like, just turn this into me just, like, hypo-babbling. Um,
Yeah, I don't know about a whole lot of ARGs.
Yeah.
We already talked about Sexy Girl Max.
Yes.
Um,
Wait, I've got an idea.
What?
Shall we try to use creepypasta tropes to write a creepypasta?
To write a creepypasta?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Like, just like something stupid for fun. Should we do it?
I feel like that would take a long time.
Let's just, I don't know, let's do a short one. Let's do a video game. Wait, let's do a video game one that's based off Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh! Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. I like that idea. I gotta wait for Google Docs to load. Okay, we gotta make sure we hit all the tropes, right? We gotta make sure we hit all the tropes for video game ARGs. So
for creepypastas.
Yeah, creepypastas. So what are some tropes? We'll start there.
The first trope is that you get it from like a creepy, sketchy garage sale.
Right, of course.
But I don't know how that's possible with.
Well, they have
Animal Crossing?
They have physical copies.
Oh.
And
oh yeah, I forget. It has.
And then it's it's always like not actually look. It doesn't actually look like a game cartridge. It's always like written on there what it is.
Yes.
At some point there's blood. It just goes to like blood and gore at some point.
Yes. There's also almost always a point where the player feels compelled to play.
Yes. Always gotta have that one. Like beloved characters saying things that aren't like in character.
Yes. Secondary characters getting murdered by the main character.
Yes.
So like the Animal Crossing main character could just slaughter all of the villagers.
Yeah, I was even thinking like like just like Tom Nook and Isabelle just like fighting to the death.
Oh my god.
Okay, are there any other tropes we want to include before we get this baby going? We got the creepy sketchy garage sale. We got the cartridge that's like been written on instead of like looking like the normal game cartridge. We got the blood and gore. We got the player feeling compelled to play. Beloved characters saying creepy things. Characters murdered by MC. Oh, glitches. Everything glitches.
Yes.
Yeah, gotta have those in there. Okay. Is there anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Let's write this bitch.
Okay.
What should we call it?
It has to be like a long, rambly sentence.
Animal Crossing. The day Animal Crossing New Horizon became a nightmare.
Or like I got a bootleg copy of Animal Crossing and this happened. Or something like that.
I got a bootleg copy of, I'm just gonna abbreviate ACNH. And this is what happened. What happened next? Okay. All right.
Make you fuck your dad. No.
Just like immediately, like straight.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was like, that's definitely like a Grumps thing. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens next?
What happens next? It'll make you fuck your dad. Okay. It all started with the coronavirus.
Oh.
Everyone was stuck inside, not knowing what to do. Suddenly, I couldn't see my friends.
Not that I had many to begin with.
Yes.
Because that's always
yeah, right.
with
They never
gamers,
have friends.
right?
Yeah.
They don't have friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing's not a real game.
Yeah.
Wait. I gotta put that later on. It's like, I was only one for the shooters at Call of Duty. But I figured I'd give this game a shot.
Call of Duty's in the Halo.
Yeah, the Call of Duty's in the Halo. Call of Duty Shooterman.
Call of Duty Shooterman.
Okay. But I had many to begin with. So I guess isolation wasn't that bad. At least I had my Nintendo Switch. My Nintendo Switch. Which could never be as good as the classic consoles. Like the NSES and the GameCube. What?
The SNES.
Yeah, SNES. What did I say? NES?
You said NSES.
I'm not dyslexia.
The Nintendo Super.
Okay, I wrote NSES. SNES. I don't know why I always read it that way. Okay, and the GameCube. But it was an okay console. And I couldn't complain too much because at least I had one. These consoles were flying off the shelves. I was so upset. I couldn't afford a second one, so I could upcharge the price like everyone else. Early on, my state started to open up. There weren't that many people. So as long as we were wearing masks, we were gonna be okay. Mine was a Mario mask. I bought it from Amazon.
Great.
Yeah.
It's gold.
I
Good
know.
stuff.
One day, just for something to do, my mom piled me and my dumb baby sister into the car to go for a drive. It was something I would have probably skipped out on under normal circumstances. Because my baby sister hates the car and always pukes everywhere. Okay, I cracked myself up. But
it's just the voice is making it so much better.
Thank you. I like my stupid gamer voice. But
yeah.
I guess with nothing else to do, and since I'd already built an entire world in Minecraft. Okay. I decided that getting some fresh air, in quotes, fresh air, unquote, would probably be beneficial or whatever.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. I know. It's great. Wait, I'm on a roll here, so feel free to interject anything, but I'm just like, I'm on a roll. I'm in the zone.
No,
okay.
do it, man.
All right, awesome. On our way into town, my mom... Mom! Okay. I'm getting cracked up by the voice now. On our way into town, my mom saw a garage sale sign tacked on to an electrical pole. She's never been able to say no to a good old-fashioned garage sale.
Garage sale. Never been able to say no to a garage sale.
Garage sale. Says it reminds her of being a kid or whatever. Her childhood always sounds so lame whenever she tells a story about it. But anyways, here we were, driving down an old dirt road. The bumps were making my dumb sister, complain about having to puke. But thankfully she didn't. We pull up at this dinky, dirty, old house with an old fat man standing outside with a bunch of stuff in cardboard boxes. Wait. On top.
There's got something creepy about the old man.
Yeah, of course. Of a dirty old foldable table that he probably stole from a church or something. His white shirt. Nothing more horrible than a white shirt on a redneck. Sorry, everyone.
Don't worry, it's true.
All dirty, sweat lines around his big fat neck. And
I thought you were gonna say his big fat titties. I was gonna say, yeah.
Wait, yes, titty. I like that better.
His man titties.
His big fat man titties. And he smelled like a fucking funeral home. My mom got my baby sister out of the car. But I wasn't gonna wait around to watch her puke up her lunch on my mom's jacket. So I made my way over to the old guy, figuring I could maybe haggle for some broken electronic I could fix. That he didn't know the value of. I don't know how to make them creepy.
So, I'm kind of falling asleep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sorry to like cut this short or whatever, but
it's okay.
Like I need to take a nap.
Alright, you go take a nap, my dear. Hey, chat, you guys want to help me finish this shit?
Yeah.
We can't really see the things being typed. I know that's the point, Foxy. You're not supposed to. Duh.
You just listen to the beautiful voice.
I know. You listen to my gamer voice, my stupid gamer voice. All right, maybe I'll do it for. We'll do it for another stream. I'll have a little thinky think about where to take this story, and we'll do it for another stream, with or without Kayleigh.
Submit it to the Creepypasta wiki.
Here's a stupid creepypasta I wrote about it. No, you can't say it like that. You can't sell it like that. You have to say, here's a totally serious creepypasta I wrote. What do you guys think? Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know down in the comments.
What do you guys think?
What do you guys think about it? Oh, tell me. But
Gosh.
I'll no flamers though. I'll delete it.
Flamers, I'll delete.
I'll delete it. Okay. All right. Bye, Kayleigh, my love.
Goodbye.
All right.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect my Discord. Ooh. Okay. Hi. Yuck, yeah, we do. Yeah. I don't know. Do we do it tonight? I don't know. I could go for a little bit longer, but now I'm stuck. I don't know where to take it. Also, I'm still in talk shows and podcasts, so I could probably switch to just chatting or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to help me write this? Hold on. Let me do a poll. Let's see. Finish the creepypasta. Yes, now. All right, 1 minute poll going up right now, guys. I'm gonna change the category anyway to just chatting. So, all right. All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Are we dating? Or are we? No, I'm just kidding. I've got to change my info here. Just check. There we go. All right. I think that should be changed now. I could go for now or a different stream, up to you. Nobody voted. Okay, well, I guess we're doing it for a different stream then. Because I have no ideas right now. But if you guys want to think about it, I will post it in the Discord somewhere. And everybody can come up with ideas for it. And I'll definitely add it into the Google Docs. Oh, wait, that's a good idea. I'm dumb. You know what? Here's what I'll do. Because I can add you guys into the Google Doc, right? If you guys want in to like help write this dumb creepypasta, I'll do this. I'll put a I don't know. I'll put something in announcements. How's that? I'll put something in announcements, and then whoever no, you know what? Why am I doing that? That's so dumb. Okay. Start over. Here's what we can do. If you want in on this creepypasta, if you want to help write it, if you want to help workshop it, if you want to put ideas in it or whatever, here's what you do. DM me your email. And I will add you to the Google Doc and let you edit it and all that kind of stuff. And we'll go from there. And hopefully we'll have a cool creepypasta by the end of October that we can share with everybody, and it'll be fun. Yay! It'll be a group creepypasta. How's that, guys? What do you think? Cool. All right. So yeah, everybody send me a DM of your email. I'm not going to share it around. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to use it just for this purpose. And right now we are going to find somebody to raid. I'm thinking Even though we raided Avery last night, I'm thinking I might raid her again because she just recently started streaming again afterwards. Sorry, after not live streaming, and I think I'm co-streaming with her tomorrow. We haven't worked out the fine details, but I think I am co-streaming with her tomorrow. By the way, if anybody here plays Animal Crossing New Horizons, we're having a costume contest tomorrow. So be sure to do that. I'm actually gonna let this load in, so that the ad plays before I raid her. Because last time I raided into an ad, which I don't mind. Just I want to make sure that the ad is over so that I don't miss anything. As that's getting set up, because it looks like the raid's gonna. It looks like the ad's gonna play. There we go. So please give Avery J. Bird some love. I love her so much. She's playing a very interesting game called Rune Factory. I guess it's a farming simulator. It's got dragons, so we stand dragons. Yeah, you guys know what to do. Send some love, send some honey, send some emotes, do all that kind of other stuff. And thank you all so much for being here and listening to the podcast. I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. You guys are amazing, as always. And I really look forward to writing a creepypasta with you guys. I think it'll be fun. Also, because I'm me, I want to run it through Google Translate after we're all done and get some laughs after that. It's like Fantasy Harvest Moon. Yes. All right. So you know what the game is, Squimbles. Yeah, this is very fun. I was watching her play this last night, so it's very fun. All right. I will see you over there in the raid, my lovelies. Thank you so much for sticking around to raid. I love you all. Have a good day. Have a good night. Wherever the heck what time is it in the world where you are. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.